Hi everybody, Rivers here. Today I just want to talk a little bit about critical fumbles. I don't know if the younger generation knows what a critical fumble is. I'm sure the older gamers know what a critical fumble is. Or Pathfinder players probably know what it is because Pathfinder makes a deck of critical fumble cards. So critical fumble is when you roll one and then the GM or DM asks you to roll it again and you roll another one. That's considered a critical fumble. And I got a couple stories about a critical fumble that I want to share with you today. And I think they're humorous, although at the time I didn't find them so much humorous until I look back on it. But let me just start with the first story. It was a D&D game. I believe it was 3.5. And I was playing a fighter. And we were at an inn. And we were at the door to our room upstairs in the inn. And we had something in the room or something there that we didn't want anybody else to know about, and there was a worker from the inn that came up at that time right at the top of the stairs, and I just wanted to stun him and knock him unconscious. So I told the DM, with the flat of my blade on the sword, I'm going to smack him in the head and knock him unconscious. So he said, okay, roll. I rolled a 1. And I don't remember if I had to confirm it in this one, but whatever I did, it was a 1. So it was a critical fumble. And the DM said, okay, you swing with your sword and you cut his head off and it rolls down the steps into the main room of the inn. And everybody recognizes the face on the head, and they are screaming, and you hear people running toward the stairs. What do you do? So we ran into our room, closed the door, locked it, and then jumped out the window. Now the second story window to the ground. They had called the guard. The guard was after us, so we ran through town, got into the sewers, and got away. But we were wanted in that town then, and the party blamed me, which I guess is true, but in retrospect we had a laugh about it because that was just crazy luck to get a 1 on a called shot to knock somebody out. And it was a lot of fun at my expense, let's say that. And before I tell you the other story, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and please subscribe, because I like to get more subscribership, to get videos out, more people. Comment, like the video, that also helps, and I appreciate it, and I read all my comments. And I will never ask you for Patreon or for membership, because I don't want your money. I'm just doing this for fun. And if you enjoy stories like this, please click the like button and subscribe. So the second story is in Rifts, which is a Palladian game. And in Rifts, we were assigned to, I think it was, find this cult and weed them out and stop what they were doing. And here the cult was trying to sacrifice a baby in this one building. And we had snuck onto the roof, and somehow I was able to jump down from the roof down to the floor where the guy was holding the baby who was going to sacrifice the baby. And I said, as I jumped, I'm going to stab the guy in the head with my vibro knife, because he couldn't have a big weapon, so I had a vibro knife. And I jumped down and I swung and I rolled a 1. And the GM said, okay, you roll, you swing with your vibro knife and you cut the baby in half in front of its mother, and they all scream. So now, not only do I have to deal with the cult people that were trying to sacrifice the baby, but now I got the townspeople mad at me because I just killed one of their own, which I, rightfully so, I would be mad, yes. And like I said, it's another case of incidents where you roll poorly, and really poorly, and the worst thing possible happens. So if you don't use critical fumbles or fumbles at all, maybe you should, because it adds a little bit more to the game. So that scenario ended up okay. We ended up defeating them, the cultists. However, we couldn't bring the baby back, and they were still pissed at me, which understandably so. But we did get the job kind of done. So, like I said, if you don't use critical fumbles and don't use fumbles at all, you should really think about it, because it adds a lot to the gameplay and to the role playing of the game, as we role played all this out, and it's a good bonus to the game, I think. But I'll do a video later on critical hits, as I have a couple stories about that, which one of them I've actually told in different videos, but I'll retell it again because the player really likes when I do that. So, like I said, if you haven't done so, subscribe and like the video, and remember, have a good game.